Hello, this is Dr. Rogini. Welcome into my channel. I'm actually taking this video at my investment property. So I wanted to share with you as a doctor, as a practitioner, as a mother, as a wife, how did I create all this while running a business, while investing in properties, while creating that ideal life, while spending time with my family, all of it. How did I do this? It required a certain level of mindset. If you watch all the videos in my past, I talk about inner work. I talk about paradigm shift. I talk about quantum leap. I talk about a version of me that used to think differently and then a version of me that thinks differently. So in order for me to leap into different levels, in order to create more time with my family, in order to create that life that I never thought I can, it required a certain level of mindset, along with discipline, along with focus. But it was not about being busy. Just want to make that clear with you. I wish someone told me this when I started my life, when I had my 3 children to raise and built my business, built my clinic. I had to learn it through trial and error. And I want to share this back to the world, to doctors, to practitioners who want to also, especially as females, you want to have kids, you want to have a business, you want to you want to have this healthy connection with your family. How can you have it all? And when I started all this, it was a deep desire within me that I wanted to create a beautiful relationship with my partner. I wanted to improve my relationship with my partner. I wanted to improve my communication with my children. I wanted to create this ideal, this legacy for my children. But I had to do something with myself. I had to change the way I used to think. I had to change the way that I was told how you have to behave and think. But it required a certain level of awareness that started inside of me. I had to break my old way of thinking and create a new way of mindset as a chiropractor. Thank you to chiropractic, because if it wasn't chiropractic, I wouldn't be where I am. Chiropractic is a lifestyle, is a mindset. Chiropractic helped me to remove interference in my own body, in my children's body, and in my mind as well. Allowing myself to be more connected at the soul level, to be able to create the life that I deeply, deeply desire from the soul, from my heart. So what I want to share here is, number one, what I had to do different is I had to stop being busy just to be busy. I had to remove activities in my life that did not have any meaning for the future. I had to remove things in terms of my lifestyle that actually occupied space. So it kind of created a way that I thought, because that thing occupied space, it kept me busy, which did not allow me to add more into my life, more time into my life, more clarity into my life. It kept me busy that it also affected my income and my wealth building strategies. So I had to reevaluate my life on a regular basis, which I am still doing. Every level I reach into, I have to reevaluate to be able to create more space, create more time, to be able to create more time with myself and with my family. So I had to remove myself from being too busy. I had to delegate certain tasks to team members. I had to set up certain operations in terms of meaning like standard and procedures in my clinic to be able to create more space and time for myself. So when I started to delegate certain duties and tasks, I had more space in my mind. I had more space in my energy. So I was able to spend more time, quality time with my children. And you can have all of it as a female. And this is the hardest part as females to understand. Females, we have certain levels of, I don't want to use the word trauma, but we have a certain level of mindset from our ancestors that we cannot have it all. Either you're just a mother or you're just a business owner. But we don't have to burn our relationship because we are a business owner. We don't have to burn our relationship with our children because we are a business owner or real estate investor. We can have it all. And the more you become clear with your values, the more you become clear with your purpose, the more you become clear in terms of what you want to do, you remove unwanted things in your life. I had to learn through trial and errors. I built a business in my clinic, in my practice. I had to remove things that did not serve me. I thought that created some income for me. I thought that I was able to help more people through that action, but I realized I had to remove that because it did not align with my purpose. So as you grow and expand, you notice you have things in your life that does not align with your purpose, with your values. You become more clear and clear, and you will start setting certain levels of boundaries. As females, it's important that we have boundaries. Boundaries at home, boundaries with ourselves, boundaries with our children, boundaries with our partner, boundaries in our practice. And it required a certain level of emotional intelligence. So what I want to share here is, when you join with my master classes, I have different levels of master classes for different things that you need at the moment in your life, in your journey. So for some of you, you might need to be able to clear your channels, you clear your mindset, because sometimes what happens, our thoughts occupy our mind, our space, and we might have paralyzed thoughts that stop us from expanding and creating more in our life. So these paralyzed thoughts occupy space, and you might not even be aware of it. So when I use the word paralyzed thoughts, I'm using these intense terminologies just to kind of make you aware, but it doesn't mean you should get stuck with that terminology. So let me give you an example of paralyzed thoughts. What does it look like? A paralyzed thought is there's many different levels in terms of where you are in your life. So a paralyzed thought can be like, oh, I cannot do this. It's impossible. As a mother, I cannot have a successful practice. I cannot have a 5-figure or 8-figure or 5, 6, 7-figure or 8-figure business. It's impossible to have a good relationship with my spouse because I'm a mother and running a business. I cannot do it all. That's an example of a paralyzed thought. You could also have different levels of paralyzed thoughts in terms of in running your business. You might think, oh, I cannot hire another person. It's impossible. I don't have the funds. If I hire someone, it's going to affect my business. But if you stretch your mind and you see the purpose why you're doing this, and you have a deeper meaning, you want to leave a legacy, you're creating space. And now when you create space, you're able to pay your team members. You're able to hire more team members in your practice. And it might not be perfect at the beginning. You might have to rehire. You might have find different team members that suits to your business. And it takes trial and error. But when it comes to, like, when you start getting coached by me or you join certain master classes, you're able to see where you're stuck and you're able to shift that. For example, if you're a mother, you can join my motherhood portal. The motherhood portal allows you to see where you're stuck. It gives you permission to be proud as a mother, no matter where you are at right now. Okay? And allows you also to see where you are letting yourself being really busy. Busy that takes you away from focus and discipline. Takes you away from creating more time. And you'll notice watching these videos over and over again, sometimes you didn't notice it before, but you notice it now because you grew into some new level of wealth, new level of lifestyle that you will be able to recognize what you can change and remove to create the next level. And another thing I've also noticed in my life is we tend to think that we need to keep learning more. Absolutely, you need to learn more. You need to add more skills, more learning in different, I call it, you can learn in so many different areas to be able to be better, right? But then we get caught up in the learning, which occupies space as well, where we stop producing and taking the right actions. So this is not about the right action, taking the action, and then let's say it's not the right thing, you change it and create the next action. But we get so paralyzed in learning all the time, we forget to take the action. That's another thing I've realized that's very important to recognize when you forget to take those actions or you stop taking action because you think you're not good enough, especially as females. As females, you have to trust your ability. You have to trust that you can do this. The more faith and trust you have as a doctor, as a practitioner, as a professional, you're going to reach a level that you never knew that it's possible. So, and also another thing I wanted to share here is being vigilant. Being vigilant, being aware what's coming in your field and what's not serving you. So you're going to get so many different opportunities in your life. A lot of opportunities will come in your field, but if you're not clear with your purpose and value, you can get distracted with that. So become more and more clear with your value. For me, value is family. I value family. I value relationship. I value long-term relationship. I value my patients, my clients. I value giving the best service. I value that I learn as much as I can so I can give back to the community. I value learning. I value wealth building. I value leaving a legacy. So it depends what you value. If you feel like you're aligned with my value, you will definitely will learn from my services, from my coaching, being in my presence, because you will learn that there's different ways that you can bring your skills out. And you're definitely talented, otherwise you wouldn't watch this. You all have some skills that can radiate and shine. And you got to open that heart. That's the next thing I've learned. The more you allow your heart to be open, the more love you have for yourself and for everybody else around. The more love you have for people that are not up to speed with you. For people who don't understand yet. For people who reject your values. For people who judge you. Keep your heart open. The more you keep your heart open, the more love you project. The more love you project to yourself, the more love you project to your family, to your business, to your wealth, to everything. That is the deepest power that's going to change your reality. You got to clear resentments that you've built over time. Those resentments do not serve you. If that's something you feel like you're holding a lot of burden in your mind, in your heart, in your body, you can actually purchase the Shakti Activate course. That's going to help you to shift everything for you, to clear your channels, to clear your energetic field so you can focus and be of service to yourself and be of service to others as a female. As a female, it's very important that you are being of service to yourself. What does that look like? Being in gratitude, allowing yourself to see what you've created so far up to now, not comparing yourself with others. Wherever you are, you're perfectly fine right now at this moment. Going from moment to moment with focus and doing one thing at a time. That's the biggest key for females. We can tend to do multiple different things at the same time. And that creates this little chaotic energy in your field. And that holds you back from building and creating that legacy. That slows you down. You can speed up your process. You can leap in at the quantum level by allowing yourself being present, focused, and doing one thing at a time. That's what I've learned when I was raising my children, my beautiful 3 children. My oldest is already 19. She's in her second year university. And I left a legacy for them. How? Not through wealth only. It's who I am. Your children will pick up what you do for yourself. They will see it and they will carry on that same thing. So work on yourself first before you start to change everybody else. Because you do not have to physically change them. You do not have to go and tell them what to do. They will learn by watching you. You are the role model as a female. So thank you for watching. I think this video itself is going to change so much. But if you feel like you want to learn more, you want to become a higher version of yourself, you want to break those limitations, you can watch those pre-recorded replays of my masterclasses and go to my site and see what resonates with you at this moment. We have Shakti Activate, we have Health Awakened, we have Motherhood Portal, and there's much more in there, and more courses are coming up. I'm still working on them, and once they are released, I will let you know. I can't wait to see you. We'll see you back on the next video.